I am sorry. We are sorry. I'm sorry to Ms. Higgins for the terrible things that took place here. And the place that should have been a place of safety and contribution turned out to be a nightmare. But I'm sorry for far more than that, for all of those who came before Ms. Higgins and endured the same, but she had the courage to stand. And so here we are. So we are sorry for all of these things. And in doing so, each of us take an accountability for changing these things. And to those who have perpetuated such bullying, abuse and violence, the light will come to those behaviours, as it must.
U.S. President Joe Biden's top science advisor, Eric Lander, has resigned over allegations that he bullied his staffers. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki confirmed his resignation on Monday. Lander served as director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy. He was the focus of an internal review after subordinates complained about his behavior, as first reported by Politico on Monday. Psaki spoke about the allegations against Lander earlier on Monday, before the news broke of his resignation.
Well, our objective and the president's objective is to prevent this behavior from ever happening again.
The allegations struck a nerve since Biden came into office, pledging to crack down on any bad behavior in his administration. Last year, the White House suspended press aide T.J. Ducklo. Ducklo, who subsequently resigned, had reportedly threatened a reporter who was doing a story on his romantic relationship with another journalist.
U.S. President Joe Biden on Monday said that the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline would be halted if Russia invades Ukraine, and stressed unity with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz as the West rallies to avert a war in Europe. After a meeting with Scholz in Washington Monday, Biden said Russian forces crossing into Ukraine would trigger a shutdown of the decade-old pipeline project from Russia to Germany.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
Scholz said the United States and Germany had the same approach to Ukraine, Russia, and sanctions, but did not directly confirm the Nord Stream 2 plans. Whether the U.S. and Germany are on the same page over the $11 billion project has become a crucial question, as the two major democracies lead NATO allies in pushback against Russian President Vladimir Putin. Russia has amassed some 100,000 troops near the Ukraine border. It denies it is planning an invasion, but U.S. officials say an attack could occur within days or weeks. Scholz told reporters Russia would pay a very high price if it invaded Ukraine.
We will be united. We will act together. And we will take all the necessary steps, and all the necessary steps will be done by all of us together.
Biden and Scholz emphasized that they preferred diplomacy as a solution. In Moscow Monday, French President Emmanuel Macron held more than 5 hours of talks over dinner with Vladimir Putin, telling the Russian president he wishes to avoid war and build trust. Putin said the talks were useful.
The president preferred to come to Russia to share opinions about what we should do next. And some of his ideas and proposals, about which I think are too early to speak, but I think these ideas could form a basis for our further joint steps.
The pair are set to speak again following Macron's visit to Ukraine this week.
Police in Canada's capital, Ottawa, are cracking down on fuel and funding for the widespread protests against vaccine mandates that have swept the country. Demonstrators have shut down downtown Ottawa for over a week now, blockading streets and blaring car horns. That's prompted an interim injunction from a Canadian judge silencing the noise, part of a class action lawsuit brought on behalf of neighborhood residents. City Police Chief Peter Slowly told reporters Monday his officers have been working nonstop to end the disruption.
Our efforts, combined with the city's efforts, eliminated the GoFundMe. $10 million are no longer accessible to the demonstrators. There are other funding avenues that we continue to aggressively go after through intelligence, information, coordination with financial institutions, and all three levels of government. We will be relentless in pursuing the funding that has enabled this demonstration to continue to this point.
The so-called Freedom Convoy first kicked off to protest a vaccine mandate for cross-border truckers, before expanding into wider demonstrations against Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government. Trudeau has left Ottawa for an undisclosed location over security concerns. He denounced the demonstrators' tactics on Monday and called for an end to the protests. They've also sparked counter-demonstrations in some areas, and police are investigating active threats to public figures they have received. Authorities say demonstrators have been sustained by a well-organized supply chain, partly funded by sympathizers in the U.S. The protesters' supporters include former U.S. President Donald Trump and Tesla CEO Elon Musk.
What particularly has occurred of a significant nature? We went after the funding. Our efforts, combined with the city's efforts, eliminated the GoFundMe. $10 million are no longer accessible to the demonstrators. There are other funding avenues that we continue to aggressively go after through intelligence, information, coordination with financial institutions, and all three levels of government. We will be relentless in pursuing the funding that has enabled this demonstration to continue to this point. No officers are on days off. Everyone has been working. We are stretched to the limit, but we are 100% committed to using everything we have to end this demonstration. We cannot do it alone. That is why I have been advocating for all three levels of government to bring whatever they can bring to bear on the permanent, sustainable, lawful, safe resolution of this demonstration.